Hello, today I Vibhav will be going to explain you the client-server data transfer process using UDP. For this we will need to install the PyCharm IDE so that we can code easily in Python and create two files server.py and client.py. So first we will write the socket from socket import star. This line imports the socket module which provides low-level networking interfaces for creating and interacting with sockets. Then we will declare the server port number, which in this case is 11500. Then this is the port number that the server will use to listen for incoming messages. Then we will write the server socket is equal to socket AF and net. This code line that will create a UDP socket for the server using the AF INET family of addresses, which also includes the IPv4 address and the SOC dgram socket type, which is used for datagram oriented or connectionless protocols like UDP. Then we will write the server socket.bind and we will leave this inverted comma empty and write server port. This line binds the server socket to a particular address and port number. In this case, the server is binding to the any address. That's why we have left it empty on the specified port number, server port. This means that the server will listen for incoming messages on all network interfaces that are available. Then we will simply print the server is listening. This line will simply print a message to the console indicating that the server is now listening for the incoming messages. Then we will create a while loop. These lines define the main loop of the server program. The while loop will continue running indefinitely until the program is terminated. Within the loop, the server waits for incoming messages using the recvFrom method of the server socket object. This method blocks until a message is received, at which point it returns the two values, the message itself and the address of the client that sent the message. The server then constructs a response message and sends it back to the client using the send-to method of the server socket object. This method takes two arguments, the message to send and the address of the client. That's it. The server will continue to listen for incoming messages and respond to them as long as the program is running. Now we will move on to the client.py file that we created earlier. First we will write the same line as we wrote in the server.py file. We will import the Python socket module which provides low-level network communication capabilities. Then we will write server name and server port. These two lines will set the IP address and port number of the server that the client will connect to. Then we will define the client socket. This line will create a UDP socket, sock datagram for the client. The AF init argument specifies that the socket will use IPv4 addresses. Then we will simply declare a message. This line will set the message that the client will send to the server, which in this case is hello SID202. Then we will write client socket.send-to method. This line sends the encoded message to the server at the specified IP address and port number using the send-to method of the client socket object. Then we will write the server reply in server address. This line receives a message from the server using the recvFrom method of the client socket object. The received message is stored in server reply and the address of the server that sent the message is stored in server address. The 2048 arguments specify the maximum size of the received message in bytes. Then we will simply print the server reply.decode, which will decode will decode the received message and will print it to the console. Then simply we will close the socket. The client socket dot closes the socket connection between the client and the server. So now we will run the server.py file. This is showing some error. Line 9, we can check. Sorry, we have to run the server.202.py file. Now we are going to run the server.py file. Run server 202. This server is listening. As you can see, the message is showing the server is listening. Now we will run the client.py file, and we will be able to see the hello SID202 message in the server side. Run client 202. The server is listening. Hello SID202 is received, and on the server side we can see the server is listening and the hello 202 is received. Thank you. I hope that you understood the concept clearly and in a crisp manner.